Shook it up. I never loved nobody fully. Always one foot on the ground. And by protecting my heart truly, I got lost in the sounds I hear in my mind. All of these voices I hear in my mind. All of these words I hear in my mind. All of this music.
Hi, my name is Momo, and I've always been a designer.
And it breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart. When it breaks my heart. Suppose I never ever met you. Suppose we never fell in love. Suppose I never ever let you kiss me so sweet and so soft. Suppose I never ever saw you.
My name is Momo, and I've always been a designer. I was born and raised in Pueblo, Colorado by my Japanese mother and my Caucasian father and 3 older sisters. My entire family's always been very academic, so I thought that I would follow in their footsteps rather than pursue a creative field. I went to the University of Colorado, and after graduation in 2000, I moved to Tokyo to be an investment banker. I quickly realized that this career was not one for me, but I did want to stick it out and stay in Tokyo for a while. So I stayed there for a year and a half, and on all the free moments that I had, I would travel the city and just experience anything that I could. I was mesmerized with how well designed and well thought through everything was. Even things from a small kiosk in a train station to a convenience store on a crowded street to like a shopping center or even a small residential home. Everything is so well thought, and this is due to the fact that the people don't have much space. Tokyo's real estate market is booming and very expensive to own anything. So in order to have a small plot of land, you have to utilize it well. In order to utilize it well, you have to design it well so it can function properly. So after experiencing this in Tokyo, I was just completely inspired to become a designer. I moved back to Colorado, put myself through design school, and after I graduated, I quickly got a job at Oz Architecture, where I stayed for about a year. After I left Oz, I was recruited by 4240 Architecture, where I've been since for the past 2 years. I absolutely love my job. I primarily work with high-end hospitality, and with this, I get the opportunity to work with both the commercial side of things, whether it be a high-end restaurant or a spa, but also the residences within the commercial properties. I love the fact that I get to create interiors for people, and they can actually have their lives melded by this. I consider all of the necessary things. What do people need? How do they need to use the space? What's going to make them feel safe and comfortable? And what's going to allow them to use the space to the best of their ability? And this is what I do on a daily basis. It ranges all the way from space planning to picking the proper colors to sufficient lighting and natural light as well. So these are all the things I consider. And I love it because it gives me an opportunity to change people's lives and how they use spaces. We spend such a majority of our time indoors. I think it's very important to actually have an environment that is designed well so people can use properly. The Kepke family has suffered such a tremendous loss. However, they're somehow pulling together with such strength and solidarity, and this is much due to the fact that they have such a strong family connection. I can't compare the loss that the Kepke family has experienced to something that I have personally. It's just too profound and too sudden, and I'd feel like I would trivialize it. But I do remember in 1999 when my grandmother was really ill, she pulled me aside in her hospital room and said, "Don't forget my memory." And even today, 8 years after the fact, I remember that. And I remember all of the time I spent with my grandmother, my Japanese grandmother. Just so much of my design aesthetic even is directly related to how she influenced me in my life and the cultural aspects as well. And I've taken that to heart, and I think it's very important for families to respect their history and their traditions. And so we need to incorporate some of that into the Kepke's family and their new home. First of all, I think that the theme of this home needs to be the family. We need to give the kids a bit more of a retreat, some place or something that they can have that it'll give them an opportunity to have some privacy and to have time to reflect on their own. They're all coming to an age where they're adults, and I think that's a really important thing to give them. And while we're going to give them a new home, I think that we need to keep in mind that this old home is full of treasured memories and ties to their past and memories of their father. So I think one really important thing we need to consider is bringing in some of these older elements from the old home into this new home. We need to give them a spectacular great room, an awesome living space where they can be together as a family. They're so tight-knit. I think that's clearly one of the most important things that we need to prioritize. This will give them an opportunity to come together and to create new memories where they can laugh and cook together and play together and just enjoy one another's company. One really wonderful way, I think, would be to bring the outside in. We can take some of the clapboard off of the old exterior of the home and use that beautiful weathered patinaed old painted wood and make it into one of the walls in the living room maybe, or possibly take some of the windows and the window panes off of the old home and bring them into the living room or one of the more public spaces within the new home to create some walls or partitions or maybe even just some sort of a mosaic art piece. But aside from those fixed details, I think we absolutely need to consider using the furniture that Matt received from his great aunt, the beautiful buffet and the dining room table. Really important. It's clearly a sign of their lineage, and we need to really respect that. Matt was such a steward for the town of Dundee, and I think that in his memory, it would be absolutely paramount to have some sort of a dedication at the mill. It would be wonderful to finish the mill and to make it an actually functioning space that can be a historical location as well. But I think that Matt's involvement in renovating it is important to remember. I think that the town should have some sort of a memorial there for him and maybe a placard of some sort. I also think that it would be wonderful to give the kids an opportunity to go to college or have some sort of financial stability so they don't need to worry about their future. To use some of Matt's words, he said, "We have little to worry about and lots to think about." And I think this is just a wonderful way to actually apply his motto, which is towards their future. Give them the opportunity to go to college or pursue some other interest where they don't need to worry about the financial repercussions and they can just look forward to their future. And finally, I think that if we can do something to really give Matt a voice, even in his death, if we could donate money to the Cancer Society in his name, it'll possibly help other families in the future keep from having to live through the pain that his family and Matt himself actually lived through by maybe furthering some of the research that was unavailable at Matt's untimely death.
Where are we? What the hell is going on? The dust has only just begun to fall. Crop circles in the carpet, sinking feeling. Spin me round again and rub my eyes. This can't be